Welcome to Midlife Customs. In my last video I replaced the floor pans. In this video I do a ton of metal work. If you like working on cars and watching DIY videos, then you should hit the subscribe button because that is what I post on this channel. Please take a quick minute to read this disclaimer. I am not a professional, nor do I claim to be. So I'm going to run through all the stuff that I had to replace, and as you can see, the bottom parts of where the door hinges go were just completely rotted out. So I just measured from the bottom of the upper opening to the top of the bottom and used that measurement to replace it with the newer metal. Here you can see after making my mark I was able to cut out the old piece, and you can see how bad it was in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean all that up and replace it with new. The inner braces were really bad and I had a hard time finding them, so I went ahead and ordered them, and while they were coming in I decided to move on. But here's a look at where they go. So like I said, while I was waiting for the metal braces to come in, I figured I would go ahead and get rid of these cowl vents to make it nice and flush. So I just bent it to match the contour of the body before I cut it off, and you can see how it matches pretty good. So I labeled it top and marked exactly where it would go before, and then you can see here the piece that will be replaced. After that I test fit it, and I happen to have these magnets. They're pretty good magnets. I mean, to work like any other magnets, but I just happen to have these from Eastwood, so I used them. They hold panels in place pretty good. And here you can see I tacked it all the way around and then fully welded it and grind it down. Plug weld all the holes and just threw some cheap primer on now to protect it while I continued on working on everything else. And since I was still waiting on those parts, I figured I'd just go ahead and do a little cleanup and painting on the bed floor to kind of keep it moving while I was waiting on other stuff. After finally getting the parts and I can see how everything was going to fit together, I went ahead and replaced the hinge panel, or at least mocked it up, like I said, to see how everything's going to work before I welded it. And here's a shot of it all welded together and ground down. After that I was able to mock up the lower front cowl repair panel and see where I wanted to cut it off, and I marked it and used some Clecos to hold it where I would be doing plug welds, and put a few tack welds to hold it in place. And after that I was able to fully weld that, and you can see how that all turned out. And it was my first time replacing one of these, so I was pretty happy with the outcome. The other side was in extremely bad condition, but the process was pretty much exactly the same. So I just went ahead and did the same thing, and here you can see the outcome of that. I did make some filler pieces to go ahead and plug up these holes just to keep water out of it I don't know if there's rubber pieces you can buy to replace it, but I figured since I was doing the metal work, I would just go ahead and replace it anyway and still have access to the Fender hardware from the inside. Next, I moved on to deleting this front cowl vent. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool feature, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be disappointed that I removed or deleted it, but hey, I'm building it and this is how I wanted to do it. But I figured it just looked nicer flattened out, so I took the piece, flattened the edges of the metal, and used the same piece to weld back in. And here you can see I just went around and did some tack welds and then went on and fully welded it in. Up next was the bottom door panels, inner door panels, which were just as horrible as everything else. But I did have the actual pieces, so I was able to just mark it and cut it out and weld the new pieces in. And here's a shot of the front cowl after I fully welded it, and I'll just have to finish grinding it. For the bottom door skin, I just took a piece of 18 gauge metal and rolled it to kind of match the contour and used these stitch weld clamps to hold it in place. And here you can see how it comes around the bottom, which I'll just hammer over when I'm done. Onto the drip rails. Now these drip rails were in really bad shape, and I actually like the way drip rails look on older vehicles, but since these were in bad shape, I decided that I was going to go ahead and replace them, which I always kind of wanted to try out anyway. I'm sure some people have a problem with this, but this time it's what I wanted to do. So once again, I'm building it. I went ahead and did 2 to 3 inches at a time. That way it keeps its shape and I didn't have to worry about anything splitting apart. So 2 to 3 inches at a time and just work that from one side all the way across. And then after that, the doors just didn't look right. So I went ahead and rounded those off and the opening for that as well. And you can see how that turned out. First time I ever did any of that, so I was actually pretty happy with the outcome as well. Now onto the bed. I was able to just buy a new tailgate and also that back piece so I can mock everything up. I went ahead and cleaned and painted the frame so that I can mock the truck up and be able to fit everything together and see how it was looking as I was moving on. And here you can see new running boards and the bottoms of the fenders repaired and replaced. I also picked up some early Mustang seats that I will probably use, but I'll get back to that when I'm doing the interior. Another part that was in really bad condition was the hood. So I basically had to remake or repair the entire front part of it. And you can see here how that turned out. After all the work on the hood, I figured I was going to go ahead and put in one of those hood lift kits. 2 reasons. That way I never have to worry about it flipping up, and also every time I put it down, it will go right back into the same place. After getting all that done, one of the things that kept bothering me was the big gaps in between where the bumper went, the back fenders went, and all that. So this is how I went about fixing it to the way I thought it would look better and the way I liked it. You can see these rounded gaps between how that panel would hit, so I went ahead and put 90-degree angles on that, and I was thinking about rounding that up like a rolled back pan, which would look good. And I actually eventually got that rolled over, but decided to extend that all the way to the back because it just looked better. You can see I was just a little bit short there. So I continued that out, and you can see it here, and now it comes off flat from the back and is extended all the way to the back of it, but has those 90-degree corners from the fender to the roll pan. You can see how that was just all finished off there. So I basically just made two caps and then just rolled a piece of metal over it and welded it down. One of the last things that I wanted to address was the bumpers. You can see here on the front one, it was just sticking out way too far. So I addressed that by just cutting off some of the frame and just drilling mounting holes on top again. You can see how much better that fits. So here's a before and here's an after. And just, to me, that just looks so much better. And because I'm a glutton for punishment, and also I like the look of the back bumper, I wanted to still use it, but I didn't like the way you could see through it. So this is how this all came about. I just cut some slots into that roll pan so that I could put the braces through, and now you can see how that all comes together. And I'm sure some people are going to say I should have just stayed with the roll pan, but once again, I'm building it and this is how I wanted it to be. I didn't want to see that big gap in between the bumper and the bed, so that's why I went to roll pan, but I still wanted the bumper. But I did not like how wide the back bumper was. So I knew I was going to want to take some off, so I figured I'd throw on the tailgate. So I bought and installed a set of these kind of flush mount latches so I can get rid of the chains on the back, and you can see how they work. They just basically work like any other latch. You just lock them in like this, and that's it. Nice and flush. And here's a final look at how it all came together after I narrowed the bumper, which I was pretty happy with. I think it just looks better because now I have the bumper, which makes it still look pretty stock, but that gap in between the bumper and the bed is gone, which was really bothering me. And then on the sides, now you have those caps where the bumper goes to the caps on the roll pan, and then it tapers right off the bumpers into the fenders. So to me, that just looks so much better. In the next video, I take everything down to metal, get it an epoxy primer, and start the body work. If you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe and leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching.